Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, world. You are welcome to Morning Spring. Today on Western Spring Television, this is the midweek installment of this program where we look critically at very important issues of public importance. That's what we delve into here every weekday, identifying what these issues are, the challenges, and of course, preferring solutions. These are done, of course, with the focus of the Nigerian project in mind, that this is our nation and it must work, it must flourish, even beyond us. That is why we are here and we speak to critical stakeholders, policymakers, distinguished and eminent, Nigerians like yourself. And sometimes we transcend the shores of our nation to bring these conversations. And of course, the discussant to you, Femi Ojo, is my name. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you today. So much has happened since the last 24 hours. We will look into that on this program. We'll look at the headlines from major dailies. And of course, we get talking about these issues. And this exactly is what we will do. And the time is now. But then, Daniel is there. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Femi.
Yeah, how do you do?
Great. How do you do?
Yeah, very well. How was your night?
Great. Thank
All
God.
right, good to know.
Surviving another night as a Nigerian.
Okay.
And that's how one of our guests normally puts it, surviving the jungle.
Right.
But we thank God, at least in this part of Nigeria, we do not have such, challenges, such security challenges, thankfully. But in some parts of Nigeria, they're not having it so good.
They can't say that.
Exactly. So again, we do hope that everywhere is safe enough for everyone. And talking about a lot of things that have been happening in Nigeria, of course, a lot has happened in politics. And governance. Yesterday, the CBN retained their NPR at 27.5%. So, so far, let's just say the CBN has managed to just stabilize the economy. What we are expecting now is growth.
Yeah.
Okay, before now, the Naira was, can only be described as undergoing a free fall.
Yeah.
So far, it's not as if it's looking good now. No, it's not. It's just stabilized.
Yeah.
We need to see growth in the economy, and that's exactly what Nigerians are expecting at this time.
Very well, and and it should not be a kind of growth that needs to be explained.
Absolutely.
If growth needs explanation, then that means it's not really growth.
Yeah, it should be felt by the people. Yeah.
When you are telling them, do you know that your life is getting better? No, that's not good. I should know.
Absolutely.
That's why I'm a living thing, functioning well. And not just about that. Yesterday, it was a good one for the Nigerian sport as Super Falcons.
Yeah.
They soared, Falcons,
to the finals.
Soared high to the final of this year's AFCON, by beating, their guys, the Bayana, of South Africa. And this feels so good because Nigeria and South Africa has been at loggerheads for some time. They denied Nigeria the last time at the World Cup, the men, and, they are towering above Nigeria, Super Eagles in the, qualifiers of the World Cup. But then, if the ladies can, do us the honors, why not?
Yeah.
And so, Ajibade and Gloria Alozie. Alozie is a darling of many Nigerian young guys, because of so many things. Though they are,
I wouldn't know.
Okay, all right. Maybe you are not following too keenly. Starting from the last Women World Cup, she was quite a darling, quite a free-spirited fellow. But then they are in the finals of the WAFCON. That sounds nice.
Congratulations to them.
Yeah, and we hope they were able to do us one more honor as far as this competition is concerned. The silver, it's always painful than the bronze.
Yeah,
actually.
Absolutely. Psychologically,
yeah. So we are not going for the silver right now.
Because right now, as it is, we have the silver already.
Yeah.
Already, we have it already.
So go for the gold.
We just want to trade it for the gold.
Yeah, of course. And it will be an easy one. But yesterday as well, a curtain was, drawn on the illustrious national career of one of the pillars of the Super Falcons for the last 10 years. That is Caesar Toshola, who has, announced, retirement from international football, actually, from national duties. And she is the record holder, for the most African women player of the year, woman player of the year, collect almost 6 times or 5 times. So That's quite a record there. And she's 30 right now. And she said, it's okay.
Why is she retiring at 30?
Well, she's a lady. Family beckons. And I want to understand. She doesn't need to say it, but at 30, she has conquered Africa. She's playing her trade in Europe. She's good. If she's thinking about the family way, I think it's okay right now. But she hasn't said that. But then one more push for her to say the final match, this WAFCON will be her last. And so she has to leave on a high. The entire team has to play for her.
Absolutely.
Actually. And that is one thing. And then talking about politics, it's hotting up. At the national level, at the APC, national chair, even here in Osun State, the communique was released yesterday. And it seems officially, at the end of the day, the governor is staying with his party. The PDP and all the critical stakeholders have said they are staying with the governor. The governor is staying in the PDP. He will contest the Guba 2026 with the PDP. But then at the national level, they will support President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. That's a twist to that.
The governor, that's Governor Ademola Adeleke, he released a tweet yesterday officially saying, yes, that he's with the PDP, he's remaining with the PDP, but also endorsing President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for second term. Then I'm beginning to wonder what exactly is going on in Nigeria when we have PDP governors endorsing an APC president. It's quite unfortunate. It seems as if there is an unwritten law which says the fear of Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the beginning of wisdom. What exactly is going on? Why would you, as an APC, PDP governor, be supporting
I'm not
APC?
Forcing anybody.
Of course, he's not. He's not forcing anyone.
He said, I'm not planning to have, he is not planning to have a one-party state. But everybody is saying, we can always support you from anywhere, whatever that means for them. And Governor Adeleke is the latest. Right?
Quite interesting. And again, they said even though they tried to defect to the APC, but the APC people were not friendly towards them, were hostile towards them, even though the defection did not originate from the governor. That was what the communique said, that, well, since they're not being accommodating, the governor has decided to stay with the PDP, but also endorsing endorsing the APC.
Just a quick one from that tweet you talked about. Osun PDP Leadership Caucus communique resolved. Yesterday I met, this is the governor now on his official X page, the official of met with the PDP Leadership Caucus in Oshogbo after weeks of consultations with stakeholders across Osun, from traditional rulers and civil servants to market leaders and grassroots party members. And he, the governor, is pleased to share the resolution that he remains in the PDP, the party that gave him the platform to serve the good people of Osun, and he has been unanimously endorsed by the Osun PDP for a second term in 2026. And our party, this governor now, in Osun, has also endorsed President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for re-election in 2027, recognizing him as a proud son of our state. PDP remains the most popular and trusted party across Osun State, and boldly rating, it says, I'll continue to deliver on our 5-point agenda with renewed focus and dedication. The love and support from the people of Osun continues to inspire me. Together we move forward. And I think so, the die is cast.
Yesterday, when I saw that statement, I was having a conversation with someone, and when I told him, oh, the governor said he's staying with the PDP, guess what the person said? He said, Lagomelo. That is at what time? I mean, why did it take him so long to make up his mind?
It's a consultation.
Exactly. How about, Femi, how about those PDP members and leaders who have defected already in anticipation of the governor's defection? So what would happen? They'll move back again.
Well, in politics, everybody always have their interests first. Because if you were to say, for whatever it is, on the face value now, if you were to say because there is a purported movement, and the governor will move. The governor is the party leader. He hasn't officially moved.
People have jumped already.
Why would you jump the gun when you're governor? That means they have to
prepare the ground.
They have to jump back. But then the National Assembly representatives that caucus is the one that might be a source of worry for the Osun PDP.
Absolutely.
Because it seems they have moved already. Even there have been several deniers, but it seems they have moved. Yesterday, many persons were expecting names to be called and seats to be changed at the National Assembly. We didn't see that. Today proves another day, but I learned they might be going on recess today. And not just about that. Senator Natasha tried.
I was about to say that. There was that drama, yes, that overshadowed everything else.
To gain access to the National Assembly, basing our action on the recall, process instituted by the court, but she was locked out. She came with
some supporters.
With the supporters.
Aisha Yusufu, yeah.
There's this guy on social media as well. Many of them, and they were barred from the first gate to the second gate. And finally, the door of the main building was locked, so they couldn't enter. And it was quite a drama. Chaos, actually.
Drama.
Needless
drama.
You ask me.
At this point, when we should be dealing with more serious issues as a nation.
Of a state.
Just petty, vendetta between Natasha and Godswill Akpabio.
I'm telling you, I think it's between both right now.
Absolutely.
And the National Assembly is just being used as a pawn in all of these. And you need to, we'll look into that matter in the course of the program. But Nigerians, I think many persons are embarrassed with what we are seeing.
Absolutely.
Why should that Hello Chamber and the conversation coming from there be reduced to individuals? Okay, you didn't do well. Go and sit at home to learn the rules. You are suspending you for 6 months. The lady, the senator appealed. The court said, okay, you can't do that. Even if she has done this, let her apologize for this. But on the recall, please recall her so that she can represent her people. That particular thing was appealed. We don't have a stay of execution right now. And the senator said, okay, I think I'm good to go. She came with the cameras and everybody. It was bad. There will be another one. And, this is not what we should have in at this time. If it's not politics today, then it is personal issues from the National Assembly. When last did we have something serious from that?
It.
A bill that, apart from the tax reform bills, when last? It's just, okay. I think today now, was it? Yeah, today, we understand there will be a service or something in honor of President Buhari and all of those things, And so tomorrow, what next? And then by Friday, they don't do plenary. Plenary is always between Tuesday and Thursday.
Yeah.
So you go home again for the weekend. Mondays, there are no plenary. Then the next week, what exactly are these
Sincerely,
guys doing?
if you ask me, our National Assembly, as a nation in Nigeria, they are living below expectation. Below expectation. Far below expectation.
I cannot agree more.
We're not getting that kind of intellectual discourse, and we should see exactly from
problem-solving bills,
exactly,
an act.
Most of those bills are not, fresh bills. I mean, a lot of recycled bills, and they come, they joke,
and then chain banters, and it's a lot. We have a lot to do as far as democracy is concerned here in Nigeria, and we must ask questions. We must ask questions, just like we are asking right now, because if we talk about National Assembly, and then the thing that pops up is Natasha and Akpabio, two individuals, comrades on, everybody having their, and all of those things.
And there's even a statement credited to Natasha saying that most of the senators against her should be in jail by now. If Nigeria were truly working,
why?
They should be in jail.
When did she know that they should be in jail?
She has a lot of allegations and all that.
Well,
she should just prove her.
Nigerians we ask and say, when the going was good as well, you didn't say all of this. You came as a first timer. She even came late. Because she wasn't sworn in with her maids.
Yeah.
She came through the court months later, and then immediately you were made a chairman of a committee as a first-timer. Local content and whatever have you again, and then whatever happened or was happened, and then you were removed, and all hell broke loose, and allegations, and all of those things. All of a sudden, your colleagues must go to jail.
Probably removed her from being chair.
And she even said, many of those senators are afraid, and Akpabio is running it like his family house or whatever. It is what it is. But then we have time to talk about that in the course of the program. Today is Morning Spring on Western Spring Television. Please do well to join us on our YouTube channel at Western Spring Television. If you're going out or you'll be busy, just arm yourself with your device. You have nothing to lose. Stay with it. Right, thank you for staying with us. Trusting daily in what the Daily Trust has for us this morning. We start from them. The paper how Ajibade Alozie fired Nigeria into WAFCON finals, and these sounds very nice. You can see the jubilant Falcons there. You know, this particular team is a blend of the old and the younger ones. You know, a generational shift. You know, when you see players like Ajibade, obviously, and many of them like that, and the breed of, you know, many of these guys, Rashidat, Gloria, Luzier, many of them doing the yeoman's job. Oh, we call it yeoman's now. How Ajibade Aluzier fired Nigeria into WAFCON finals. Congratulations to the ladies, and we hope they will be able to go all the way. And timeline of WAFCON victories. You know, in 1995, when he started, Nigeria won 4-2 on penalties versus Ethiopia and won title after a penalty. 1998, we won winners 2-0 against South Africa. Nigeria won 4-2 against Cameroon. 2003, Nigeria won 2-1 against Cameroon. That's the fourth one. Nigeria won 0 against Equatorial Guinea in 2006. Fifth one. Nigeria won 4-2 Equatorial Guinea. Sixth title. 2014, Nigeria won 2-0 against Cameroon. Seventh title. And in 2016, Nigeria won 1-0 against Cameroon the eighth time. 2018, Nigeria won 4-3 against South Africa for the ninth time. Can we make it 10 right now? You know, to do La Decima. I remember when Real Madrid was pursuing the Champions League La Decima, and now we hope the Eagles will be able to do this right now.
Absolutely.
Falcons, rather. Right. Away from that, our businesses cannot survive on double-digit interest rate. Entrepreneurs. That's a major concern for business owners and funding as far as the economy is concerned. Double-digit
too high,
rate.
sincerely.
What
too
can you
high.
do?
Interest rate, 27.5.
Yeah, especially for even the existing business, they might struggle.
Absolutely.
Need to talk about the ones that just want to
New
start.
ones, yes.
Yeah,
MSMEs.
Right. Now, 8 months after, missing child reunites with mother. You know, many stories to be told there. But the good news is the child has been reunited with the mother. Lawmakers indict 31 MDAs, ask EFCC to recover 103 billion naira, $950,000. And why Tinubu is yet to appoint ambassadors. You want to know why and who said that? The Daily Trust has that detail. National Assembly bars Natasha from resuming plenary. And flawed. Act now. Northern elders tell federal government. Act now. Northern elders tell federal government. I agree with that. But then the state governments too should stand up and be counted. And lastly, from the Daily Trust, front page for today, reps ask US to restore 5-year visa policy for Nigerians. Interesting, you know, request there. Help you from the Daily Trust.
All right, and from the Daily Trust newspaper, we move to the front page of The Nation newspaper this morning. On The Nation newspaper, APC, PDP kickstart 2027 plans with key NEC meetings. APC, PDP kickstart 2027 plans with key NEC meetings with riders. Ganduja's replacement, standing committee, top ruling party agenda. Below that, we have PDP pushes for cohesion. PDP pushes for cohesion after Atiku, others exit. I'm talking about the major political parties in Nigeria and their plans towards 2027 general election. Away from that, Natasha, supporters create scene at National Assembly entrance. Natasha, supporters create scene at National Assembly entrance. You find that story on page 3. Of course, we have told you at the beginning of the program how she was barred from gaining access to the National Assembly yesterday. She had planned to attend the plenary session, but fortunately, that couldn't happen because she was stopped at the gate, and the drama continues. Beside that, President to inaugurate cancer centers in Katsina, Benin, Nsukka. President to inaugurate cancer centers in Katsina, Benin, Nsukka. You find that story on page 2. Adeleke Oyinlola Osun PDP leaders back Tinubu's re-election. Adeleke Oyinlola Osun PDP leaders back Tinubu's re-election. You'll find that story on page 4, talking about Osun State. The governor, Ademola Adeleke, openly supporting, endorsing the re-election of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and also pledging to stay with the PDP. You might want to read up the rest of that story on page 4 of the Nation newspaper this morning. And on the top street, Attorney General Fagbemi's office denies government stake in First Holdco PLC. Calls this day Arise reports malicious. Talking about the Attorney General of the Federation and the report concerning First Holdco PLC stake being denied by the government. I'm still on the front page of the Nation newspaper this morning. CBN, 8 banks meet recapitalization threshold. CBN, 8 banks meet recapitalization threshold with riders. MPC retains interest rates. Other parameters. Apex Bank targets single-digit inflation. That will be a great one if we truly can achieve single-digit inflation at this time. And finally, from the front page of the Nation newspaper this morning, at the bottom strip, Eastern Rail Line project gets $3 million vote in $21 billion external borrowing plan. You find a story on page 3. Recall that yesterday, the National Assembly approved $21 billion borrowing request by the presidency. Quite interesting. We keep borrowing, and some critics have actually argued, if we are saving so much from the removal of fuel subsidy, why do we keep borrowing so much? Why do we keep borrowing? If the goal of removing subsidy is for us to, reduce our debt, then why are we still borrowing so much? Well, you might want to read up the rest of that story on page 3 of the Nation newspaper. And that'll be all from the front page of the Nation newspaper this morning.
The Nigerian Tribune is next. The Nigerian Tribune. Confusion persists over APC NEC meeting. Governors, NWC in DAC over caucus. Osun PDP leaders endorsed Tinubu Adeleke for second term. Interesting one there. And you have these external reserves hit $40.1 billion in July, CBN governor. External reserves hit $40.1 billion in July, CBN governor, with riders to that saying Apex Bank maintains lending rate at 27.5%, says 8 banks have met recapitalization requirements. All right, and bottom strip, federal government issues fresh flood alert for 28 states. Hey, alerts are not just for the optics. They are meant for actions to be taken, decisions to be made, and as fast, comprehensively as possible. Okwebolo insists Obi must inform him before visiting Edo. Interesting controversy, for the past few days now. And Africa losing $90 billion annually to imported substandard fuel. Dangote laments. Africa losing $90 billion annually to imported substandard fuel. Dangote laments. Want to say, is this a patriotic Dangote or the businessman Dangote looking here? Because the man has always maintained that he has
both.
Well,
he can separate both.
The man has always maintained that he has the highest quality around here, and he has, dared anyone who wants to, try him. And the man worries while he and his company will be here in Africa, in Nigeria, and some marketers will still prefer to be importing fuel, the kind of fuel that he's calling substandard. Yeah. So what is really happening now? The health scene. Owning a smartphone before age 13 linked to poor mental health. Headline there, owning a smartphone before age 13 linked to poor mental health.
That's interesting.
Well, all right. Now, Attorney General Fagbemi's office denies government stake in First Oldco PLC, cause Tuesday Arise report malicious, and talking about owning a phone at 13. Definitely, obviously, there's no way I could have owned a phone at 13. When I was 13, there was no mobile phone.
No mobile phone in Nigeria, absolutely.
So even in your neighborhood, you can count the numbers of people that have the table phone.
Absolutely.
In fact, people usually set date and time to say by 4 p.m. On this day, I will call you. So you go to that place and wait for your time, or somebody will call and they'll come and call in your house. Yeah, Shade, you have your call, But then I think the world is moving so fast. And
absolutely.
We'll not know the details, but then from what we can deduce, you will know, there's so much exposure.
Yeah. Health implications.
On the internet that a 13-year-old can handle.
Yeah. And again, mobile phones. I remember I once wrote, as an undergraduate, I wrote a term paper on the effect of electromagnetic waves from, mobile phones on users. So there are quite a lot of things that most people don't know about their phones until you look deeply. Quite a lot. Again, children under 13, they shouldn't be exposed to so much, if you ask me, from the little I know about that. But nowadays, you see children age 5, they're using smartphones. Some of them are using iPhones, and so it is what it is. They have so much access to
so much
everything.
access.
Someone was saying, I saw a post some time ago, Femi, and someone said that people are saying Solomon had 1,000 wives, but nowadays that a 5-year-old kid with a smartphone has access to quite thousands, seeing naked women everywhere, saying things a child
beyond their age.
shouldn't be saying, and that's just the reality.
The undue exposure, actually. These are the issues. That will be all from the Nigerian Tribune.
And from the Nigerian Tribune, we move to the front page of the Punch newspaper this morning. On the Punch newspaper, APC may pick Ganduje's successor at make or break neck meeting. APC may pick Ganduje's successor at make or break neck meeting. With a rider right there, Almakura, Yowada, Dalori, top raise, lobbying thickens, North Central demands slots, Constitution review on neck agenda, all about APC's neck meeting. You can read up details of that story on page 2. Recall that Ganduje actually resigned as the national chairman of the party, and now they have to pick a successor, a replacement for him. Almakura is one of the top contenders. Tanko Almakura is one of them. Let's just hope and see where the national chairman, where the pendulum swings at this time. And on the top strip, we have that story once again. Senate okays Tinubu's $21 billion foreign loan. Senate okays Tinubu's $21 billion foreign loan. Away from that, Dangote exports 1.3 billion liters petrol as marketers buy foreign fuel. Dangote exports 1.3 billion liters of petrol as marketers buy foreign fuel. You'll find that story on page 29. Dangote is doing so well for himself, I must say. He is doing so well. And of course, he's trying to make life easier for Nigerians as well, trying to cut, cut down prices by going into distribution and all that. But he's at loggerheads with the marketers who also have their own interests. But at the end of the day, whatever favors Nigerians is what matters. What we favor the ordinary Nigerian. So no matter who is providing the services, as long as it will bring price reduction and also give us quality products, Nigerians are okay with whatever would favor them. Away from that, moving towards the bottom strip, Israeli protests in Tel Aviv over Gaza food shortages. Israeli protests in Tel Aviv over Gaza food shortages. A lot has been happening in Gaza. I mean, there are some, horrible sights in Gaza right now. Sometimes I don't just want to look at them anymore. So, I mean, a lot of carnage going on there. Children dying of hunger and starvation. Hunger and starvation. A lot of children have died just because of hunger and starvation.
Horrible sight.
And this could have been prevented. I still remember that October 7, 2023. I woke up that early morning. When I saw the news, it was like a dream. When Hamas attacked Israel, why on earth would you do that? Killing innocent Israelis, about 1,200 of them, and also, abducting over 250 or so of them. Yeah. They shouldn't have done that in the first. And now Israel is not backing down. Israel is going on it, moving into central Gaza right now, places they haven't touched from the beginning. And Israel is saying, no way, we are moving in. They have their tanks there. The ground troops are there already, together with airstrikes and all that. And children, innocent children, are suffering.
By the way, we mustn't forget that there have been different mediation and interventions, ceasefires, more than 2-3 times, exchange of, prisoners and all of those things, the release of hostages, and it has hit a brick wall again. Absolutely. And Israel is going for the jugular. The Hamas are not backing down. But guess who the casualties are? The innocent. The children, the women, even hospitals, the aged.
Absolutely. And so far, we have over 50,000 have been killed in Gaza.
Sad.
Quite unfortunate. Needless deaths, I must say. Needless. That's why, again, leaders must take responsibility for their actions, because there will always be consequences. Away from that, still on the front page of the Punch newspaper this morning, Atiku warns as Okpebholo, Wike insists on Obi's visit clearance. Atiku warns as Okpebholo, Wike insists on Obi's visit clearance. You find a story on page 7. Talking about the governor of Edo State, Monday Okpebholo, warning or threatening, as some people might interpret it, Mr. Peter Obi not to visit the state without security clearance, saying if you visit, you're on your own. Anything that happens to you, but it's quite unfortunate coming from a governor. That is quite unconstitutional. And we'll be looking at that in the course of the program this morning. Away from that, Natasha heads to court after Senate blockade. Natasha heads to court after Senate blockade. You find the story on page 3. And finally, from the front page of the Punch newspaper this morning, we have ADC boys over Tinubu's endorsement by Adeleke Oyinlola. ADC boys over Tinubu's endorsement by Adeleke Oyinlola. You find that story on page 7. Well, hold on, Femi. Why is ADC boiling over that? I don't understand. ADC is different party. If PDP and Adeleke decide to endorse someone,
it is politics.
Even though it's not proper, for a party to be endorsing another, but it's their business. They've chosen their own path. Well, you find that story on page 7. And that'll be all from the front page of the Punch newspaper this morning. That also brings us to a conclusion of the newspaper review segment of the show. We'll take a short break, and when we return, we dive into critical conversations. You do not want to miss that. Please stay with us.